Alright, so this video I'm going to discuss with you the color wheel. And so we have to remember our color wheel, okay, is a circular diagram that shows us how every single color on our color wheel is related. Now, if you don't understand how to make your colors, how to mix your colors, and you don't understand the different groups of the colors on the color wheel, it's going to not make any sense and you're going to get very frustrated. So I'm going to show you real quick how to draw and use a couple of shapes and triangles to help you understand how those colors go together. So we have three main groups of colors that make up the color on the color wheel. And so the first group that we have, I'm going to write it over here. The first group that we have is our primary colors. I misspelled it. Okay. The second group that we have is our secondary colors. And then the third group that we have is our tertiary colors. Okay, and so these are the three main groups that make up the colors on the color wheel. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is focus on putting together our primary colors. And so I'm going to draw on this side a series of triangles in different shapes to help us understand how to use these colors to make the other colors, and then I will show you how they're put together on the color wheel. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is focus with these primary colors. So I'm going to draw as best as I can an equilateral triangle. That means every single side of my triangle and every single angle is the same, but since I freehanded it, this is as best as I can do. Okay, now there are three primary colors, and so our three primary colors, we have red, yellow, and blue. Okay, so we have three corners on our triangle, and so I'm going to label these corners so that way we can start having a better understanding of where more or less they need to be in relation to one another on our color wheel. So I'm going to put yellow up here on the top, blue on the bottom left, and red on the bottom right. Okay. So now what we're going to have to do is we are actually going to have to start working and thinking about our secondary colors. So if we are very mathematical and we understand numbers better than we understand shapes or colors, then I want you to think in a math term. If secondary is our second group, okay, in math, what two numbers do we have to add together in order to make a number 2? Right, so 1 plus 1 equals 2, okay? So in order to get a secondary color, we have to mix two of our primary colors together. Now, which two primary colors do we mix together? Here's how we see that. So if we have our three primary colors on our triangle, if we see that the color is sharing the same line of our triangle, that means we can mix those two colors together to get a secondary color. Okay, so we have blue and red. I'm going to do my best to draw another triangle. Okay, so blue and red, when we mix them together, we get green. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Blue and red, oh my gosh, makes purple. Oh man, very bad of me. My brain was skipping ahead. So it makes purple. Okay, so we have a first color of purple. And this purple, we can also call it violet. So I'm going to put a V right next to it also in parentheses because it can also be called violet. Okay. Then we have the two on this top right side, yellow and red. So I'm going to do my best again to draw this other triangle. Okay, when we mix yellow and red together, this makes orange. Yes, very good. So orange. Okay, and then our third color we have on this side of our triangle, yellow and blue. Now my brain can use it. Green, very good. And so we have our three secondary colors, purple, orange, and green. Okay, so there's 3 primary colors, 3 secondary colors. Now, in relation to each other on the color wheel, we can already start to see how we have this circular motion of our colors as it starts to form inside of these shapes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're gonna learn and figure out how to create our tertiary colors. So remember again with math, when we added to make the number 2, now we have to add to make the number 3. And so what 2 numbers can we add together that make 3? Right, so 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay, so since tertiary colors is our 3rd group of colors, we have to add a primary color with a secondary color. Now, we cannot just mix any one primary color and secondary color, because if I mix red with green, it's not going to make my tertiary color. In fact, what it's going to do is it's going to cancel each other out, and it's going to end up looking like a dirty brown or like a black grayish color. Okay, so in order for us to understand which 2 colors, one primary, one secondary, that we have to mix together to make these tertiary colors, we have to again look at those colors that are sharing that same edge of the triangle. Okay, so here we have our red shared the same edge with our purple, right? So when we have our, I'm gonna do like a half curve here, like a bubble. We have red and purple. So no, there's no like specific name, like there's yellow, orange, and red and purple. We just kind of blend them together, and so we have our red violet or our red purple. Okay, then we have this side over here. These 2 are sharing an edge, so we've got blue violet, very good. Okay, then this edge here, blue and green, so blue green. Okay, this edge here, green and yellow, green yellow, or yellow green. It's usually termed and said yellow green. Okay, I'll scratch that out. All right, then we have yellow orange, right? Just like I said it, yellow orange or orange yellow, however you feel comfortable. And then of course our last one, this edge here, we've got red orange or orange red. Okay, and so you can even see now, I mean, they're all a little like misplaced, but you can actually see red to red violet to purple to blue violet to blue, blue green, green, yellow green, yellow, yellow orange, orange, red orange, red. Okay, so it's actually starting to form that circular motion. So for our tertiary colors, we have a total of 6. Okay, and you can even see when you look at the tertiary colors on your labeling, okay, for every primary color that we have, okay, I'm going to do this with my primary colors for the angles just so we can point them out. Okay, for every primary color that we have, there are 2 tertiary colors that it's made with. Okay, so we have red orange and red violet. We have yellow orange and yellow green. Okay, and then we have blue green and blue violet. Okay, or blue purple. Okay, so that's how we determine where our colors go on the color wheel. Again, primary colors, secondary colors, tertiary colors. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay, so this is how we understand how those primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors are created and placed with each other on the color wheel. This is how they are related. Now, let's look into how these colors fit and work on the color wheel. So it's very hard to see through it, so I'm not going to be able to use it this direction with my color wheel, so I'm just going to kind of slide it over just to show you on top of my paper, okay? But we can even see, okay, where our primary colors, secondary colors, tertiary colors go. But notice, because it is a color wheel, because it is a color wheel, we can even rotate this color wheel. We could flip the colors to the other side. No matter where we start with our color, it is all going to be related to one another in any way possible, okay? So I'll start with the yellow down here on the bottom. And we know that yellow is our primary color. I'll label it right here, okay? Yellow is a primary color, all right? Remember, it's a triangle, so you have to make sure that it's equal portions. Now, I printed this off the internet, so my colors are a little weird. This looks like my blue, but it is not my blue. This is actually my primary of blue. So I've got my primary of blue, okay? And then notice there are 3 empty spaces, and so if you're not really quite sure where the red goes, if there's 3 empty spaces here, you'll have 1, 2, 3 empty spaces here, and here is our red. And you can even see 3 empty spaces, 3 empty spaces, 3 empty spaces, okay? And so that now gives us our triangle. Ooh, wasn't a very good edge, okay? So there's our triangle for our primary colors like we started here, all right? Now, if you're still a little confused about those secondary colors, then this is how I want you to think about it, okay? For every section that is in between, all these empty spaces in between each of your primary colors uses those 2 primary colors to make them, okay? So if we notice, blue is up here on this side on the left, yellow is down here on this side, right? This is yellow on the left. When we come to the immediate center, right, we skip 1 on each side. When we come to this immediate center, that is going to be our green, because we are mixing blue and yellow together to make green. Okay? So same thing up here. Blue and red, they come together in the center and it makes violet or purple. I'll put the little p in parentheses. Okay? And then again, yellow, red comes together in the center and it makes orange. Okay, so now we have primary colors and our secondary colors. Okay, so now we need our tertiary colors, our third group of colors. So when we look at our tertiary colors, we can see that there is an empty space in between each of our labeled colors that we have now, the primaries and the secondaries. Okay, so what we're going to do then is, just like I was saying, everything in between the blue and the yellow is created with blue and yellow. All right, so we have to remember, if it's on either, if you have these 2 colors on either side of it, for your tertiary color, you're going to combine them in this center space. So we have yellow, green, yellow, green, right? Blue, green, blue, green, right? Blue, violet, blue, violet, red, violet, red, violet, red, orange, red, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, orange. Okay? Now, not only is it showing us how we have to organize these colors, but it's also showing us how every single color not only transforms and changes into another color, but how it transitions through all of them and back again. Watch. So if we go from yellow, we add some blue, it goes into yellow green. If we add more blue, it turns into green. And if we take away the yellow and add more blue, it is blue green. And when we remove our yellow, it has now become just blue. Okay, same thing. Add a little bit of red to our blue, it becomes blue violet. When we have a little bit of blue and a lot of red, we have red violet. When we take away the blue completely, it's now just red. Now, we add a little bit of yellow, it becomes red orange. More yellow, less red, it becomes orange. And then of course, less red, more yellow, it becomes yellow-orange, and when we remove the red completely, it then becomes and turns back into yellow. Okay, so that's how the color wheel works. Okay, this is how all of those colors are related. So whichever way is easier for you to remember, if you have to draw those triangles to show and place all of your colors, you can. You can also think of the math for it. 1 + 1 = 2, 1 + 2 = 3. And you can also think about how each and every color changes and transforms into another and back into itself.